Scotland is a country that is part of the United Kingdom. Sharing a border with England to the southeast, Scotland is otherwise surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean to the north and west. In addition to the mainland, situated on the northern third of the island of Great Britain, Scotland has over 790 islands, including the Northern Isles, and has a population of over 5.2 million. The total land area of agriculture holdings in Scotland is 5.7 million hectares, equating to 73% of Scotland's total land area, which is 7.8 million hectares. Just over half of the land is comprised of rough grazing, with a quarter taken up by grass and about 10% used for crops or left fallow. Cereals account for 75% of cropland area, which include barley, wheat, oilseed, rape, and potatoes, as well as horticultural growth of strawberries and vegetables. 0.6 million hectares are used as common grazing for livestock, including Scottish Highlanders, belted cattle, and sheep. The Scottish Development Programme funds economic, environmental, and social measures for the benefit of rural Scotland. It is part of the European Union and is funded by the European Commission and the Scottish Government. SRDP is made up of different schemes or programs that provide grants and support to local and rural communities. The aim of SRDP is to increase participation in rural communities, businesses, and wider public in policy developments that affect them, as well as foster innovation in agriculture, food production, forestry, and rural areas, and inform farmers and rural business and communities about funding opportunities. Since the early 1990s, the European Union has pioneered LEADER, a bottom-up partnership-based approach to rural development. LEADER supports multi-sectoral community-based development. It helps individuals, communities, and businesses to come together to design and implement local environment strategies, and is characterized by 7 features designed to help people consider the long-term potential of their local area. Past projects have been as diverse as cultural events in Scotland, the Museums of Scotland, landscape initiatives, and skills and employment for community members. Other programs include Good Food Nation, Scotland food and drink education for youth. Their aim is for Scotland's young people to know where their food comes from and how it affects their health, the environment, and the economy. Their initiatives are designed to educate young people on all aspects of food and drink, from production to consumption. Another way they spread young people's awareness is by funding the Royal Highland Education Trust. The Royal Highland Education Trust was established in 1999 as the educational charity of the Royal Highland and Agricultural Society of Scotland. RHET work with partners and deliver world-leading learning opportunities for all Scotland's young people aged 3 to 18, in and through the Scottish agricultural environment and the countryside, and aim to provide every child to learn about food, farming, and to create a wider understanding of the environment, economy, and social realities of rural Scotland. Activities include farm visits, volunteer farming, outdoor education, competitions, and projects in the Royal Highland Show. Funding comes from corporate and public donations, as well as funding from the Scottish Government. Key elements are providing and promoting opportunities for Scotland's young learners to visit the working countryside, provide and promote young learners to engage with people who work in the countryside and agriculture industries, and working in partnership to provide development opportunities for teachers and volunteers, creating and sharing and learning resources to support understanding of food, farming, and rural issues. Strategies for these programs are to enhance rural economy by supporting agriculture and forestry businesses, and protecting and improving the natural environment of Scotland's beautiful landscape, while addressing issues of climate change to protect Scotland's treasures for generations to come, as well as supporting rural communities. Agriculture in Scotland changed to a more conscious attempt to improve agriculture when contacts with England increased after the Union of 1707. They were introduced to farming equipment such as the English plough and foreign grasses such as ryegrass and clover. As more changes were introduced, agricultural improvements sped north and west from 1760 to 1850 in what became the Highland clearances. The 20th century brought Scottish agriculture into the ups and downs of world markets, causing rise and slumps in the prices for what was produced. In 1970, this resulted in intensive farming and brought more areas of marginal land into production. The European Union in 1972 brought more change in orientation to Scottish farming, particularly hill sheep farming. This is where some of the CAP reforms came into play in attempts to control the overproduction and to mitigate environmental damage. 3 colleges, the West of Scotland Agricultural College, the East of Scotland Agricultural College, and the North of Scotland College. These 3 colleges will form the Scottish Agricultural College in 1990. The mission of the SAC is to drive the future needs of a dynamic, innovative, and competitive rural sector in Scotland and to solve the global agri-food challenges. One strength is the formation of work-based programs that offer individuals and employers a package of vocational training designed to meet the needs of today's land-based industries. There is also a major amount of expansion in the courses offered that pertain to all aspects of agriculture, livestock, and dairy, as well as commercial growing. One weakness is the withdrawal of a large portion of government funding and now is on a pay-to-learn basis where farmers pay to gain knowledge on agricultural issues. An organization that was formed in 1784 around a table at a tavern on the Highland in Edinburgh has had a large impact on the revitalization of Scotland's rural Highland communities, the Royal Highland Agricultural Society of Scotland. The goal was to unite the exertion of the proprietors of the land to develop, grow, and promote the rural economy of Scotland. They currently have more than 1,600 members, representing the grassroots with a huge range of farming and rural businesses. They continue to promote high standards in agriculture, forestry, and food, to steward the countryside, and to protect its rural committee. The SAC is developing courses for Scotland's young people to teach and spread awareness of agriculture worldwide. Several societies are working to help and teach the next generation in agriculture and environmental awareness. There are 3 separate regional organizations, the Scottish Colleges of Agriculture, founded at the beginning of the century. These were started to provide training and advice for farmers in their agriculture extension activities and were funded by government grant aid that was provided by the Scottish Office until 1987. This is very similar to the formation of our land-grant colleges that President Lincoln signed into being with the Morrill Act of 1862. The U.S. Extension Service provides free education in agriculture through land-grant universities. Scotland has established organizations that are funded by the Scottish Government and corporate and local donations. The Scottish Agricultural College has formed an associate company called the COSAR Limited that operates today in a highly developed market economy where farmers and other clients pay for technical and business advice, which will be of direct benefit to them. In comparison, the U.S. Extension Service provides mostly free assistance on agriculture issues through the land-grant universities. Both the United States and Scotland Extension Services and programs aim to provide the best education and support to their communities to their highest standards.